Well, he was an inspirational CEO, everyone. He was also a demanding one and could, in his search for perfection, be withering to those around him. Willy Shih remembers what it was like. He worked directly with Jobs, first as an executive with IBM and later at Kodak. The relationship goes back 20 years. Willy is now a professor of management at the Harvard Business School. Willy, share with us what it was like to deal with Steve Jobs, because we credit him for being a visionary. We credit him for bringing together the worlds of media, technology, art, and design. But you sat across the negotiating table from him, and from what I gather, it wasn't always easy, was it?
Well, it wasn't, Eric. You know, every meeting I had with Steve, he generally opened it with an insult. And I kept going back for more because I found that just working with him, I learned something all the time. I mean, he role modeled a lot of things that we would like our students to do. You know, number one, they would always invest the time and the energy and the money to just get things right. He used to always say, our products, they just work. And they would take the time and they would make the investments and they would do the hard work to get things right. And it was really, it was a very important thing to learn from him. He also always stayed true to his vision regardless of what other people said. And I really got to know him when he was at Next and when he first got back to Apple back in 1997, middle of 1997. And those were tough times at Apple. But regardless of the difficulties the company faced, he was willing to take the time to get things right and to stay true to his vision. He also demonstrated, especially at the time that he was at Next, that he could learn. He could learn from his mistakes. I think the time he spent after leaving Apple, going to Next, and then coming back, that time away, he learned a huge amount, which definitely contributed to their later success at Apple. And the other thing I observed, and he did this with me, was he was very insightful in what others did wrong. Right? So regardless of the level of pain, I kept going back for more because he was really great in that regard.
Willy, I want you to share with us an anecdote that I know means something to you, because you were with Steve Jobs and Pat Russo running Kodak at the time on September 11th, 2001.
Yeah, that was an interesting day. I had brought Pat out to meet Steve, and we got to his office just after the second tower came down, and it was, you know, we were all kind of speechless at the time, but Steve also showed a human side. I mean, previous to that, I had always seen him on the other side of the table, and we're always in business discussions, but he was a great human being as well.
All right, Willy, thank you so much for taking a few moments to talk to us about your recollections, your experiences with Steve Jobs. And as you point out, not always easy to work with him. He could be withering. He opened his conversations with Willy Shih, he just told you there, with an insult. But you kept coming back for more because Steve Jobs could teach you so much.